right, we're just jumping into the video here, finishing up the bottom end on our trailer park trash 5.3. It was extra crunchy. You know it's going to be good when they're crunchy. I can just assure you of that. So yeah, we had to cut down the windows tray, and then we got the Holley 3202, I believe it is. It's the one from Holley that has the drains for the turbo return on either side of it. We just plug those guys up since we're running naturally aspirated in our little hot wagon here. And yeah, I actually even busted out the instructions here to make sure. I figure it's best to double check. They made different pumps and pickups, and they want you to use this O-ring and that O-ring. So I just want to make sure I got the right one in there, get the baffling and the pan, and then it's just a matter of wiping everything down with some acetone or something to clean it with, degrease it. You want your silicone to be able to stick, and anything that's wet, it's not going to do its job. So we wiped it all down, get this guy on there, and then start torquing away. I'll just point out on those back bolts, they're less torqued than the rest of the bolts, so I see a lot of people snap those. Anyway, we're moving on with the project here. We got this guy. We're about ready to try to dump it up in here. I probably need to do some thinking, make sure I'm not skipping anything, but we're doing pretty good with progress. We got the transmission and all refreshed and the engine refreshed. And what I like to do is I like to, you guys may be seeing in some of the other videos, I'll pre-oil these engines before I start them, which I think is just a good idea to get the oil out through the old engine, push it through the galleys, make sure your oil pump's primed, etc. And I find the easiest way to do that is this little bolt. You guys see this bolt? Okay. Yeah, so this little bolt right here goes to the oil galley, the whole length of this block, all the way back. So when it pressurizes oil, the oil gets pushed up through there, and then it goes out through the block and does block type stuff. So you just knock this guy off. It's an 8mm Allen head, and then I'll just drill it, usually with a bit that's a little less than a 3/8 inch. So just check your dial caliper, boys. Get like one smaller than 3/8 inch, and I just put one of these quick disconnect fittings on the end of it. And it'll just go in here until we prime it. Then I'll pull that out. I Loctite those guys in after I get done drilling and tapping them. Then we can just hook up the stainless steel hose and the pressure kind of pre-oiler thing I got. Pump in 6 quarts. It'll be all through the engine, and then we go up to start it up. We'll know that at least the oil is in the bearings and on the surfaces that it needs to be on. So that's why I do that. Just want to show you guys that. Like, it's just these little plugs, man. You can get these plugs for next to nothing. You usually have them laying around because you pull them off an old engine, and they're really pretty easy. Actually, they're pretty hard, so you'll probably waste a bit just drilling through this guy. But yeah, I used a 23/64 and then some Tappy Boys, and that's it. So easy peasy. I'm just going to pop that out, pop this guy in, and then we'll get with whatever else we got to get to. All right, boys and girls, we're draining the tank because we got to get the tank down to put the bigger 450 fuel pump in. See, I just did one of these Milwaukee boys. Now on the 940, I traced back. I found out number one was the fuel pump relay. Imagine that. And I traced the wires back to this relay, which has, I've never seen anything like this with like all these, guys that usually only have like 4 wires that I'm aware of, 4 or 5. But anyway, so what I did is I just randomly started shoving this guy into these little holes until I found one that works. The one that is on, as you're looking at, on the right hand side, whoops, on the right hand side in the middle, right here, is the one that will kick the fuel pump on. So we just, I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, so we just shove that guy in there.
I know you guys really don't care. I mean, you guys probably could have figured this out yourself, but I figured maybe this will save you a second or two if you're doing this at home, because no one likes to try to drop a full fuel tank. And then this guy is just zippity zooing. It's really not that bad, to be quite honest with you. I don't know how much horsepower you can get with it, but it doesn't look that bad. So I am just gonna run this guy until we are out of gas, and that's going in the old leased Ford F-150, and we'll be ready to drop the tank and do some figuring out of how we're gonna run the fuel lines. Hey everybody, I just thought I'd show you what's going on with the fuel tank. So the fuel tank is, it's pretty easy to find the fuel tank, and there's really only a couple bolts holding this thing in, except it has this fancy brace thing. You guys see this brace around here? Well, that's bolted in a couple places, and then it's got this screw-on boy. You guys can see that, hopefully. Problem is my near vision's gone, and so is my distance, and what I can't see because of the light, it all kind of goes. So there is a clamp around the lid, which has me a bit concerned, and it's a little bit wet, which also has me concerned. It looks as though somebody's been in here, I'm guessing. There's an access port from the top, and all this stuff's kind of got to come out, and I got to take these bolts off over Mia. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but they're way back up in there. And I'm hoping that maybe this access panel up here is the best way to go about getting to it. Well, we've made a mountain of stuff here. And again, I just keep finding weight in this car that can be removed. Spare tire, there's a full spare tire, there's a jack, there's just wood. The whole back paneling is all wood. It's nice, you know. I'll probably take it out and store it, and then when I sell the car, I'll include that stuff with it. But yeah, I mean, just another 100 pounds or so. And let me get you light. And yeah, okay. So we got this guy out and all the stuff out of here, and this access panel opened up to where we can get to the basket and all the stuff that's in there. It's a big boy fuel pump, and it's going to need a good power source and some good grounds. So we'll probably run some nice wires back to there and a relay and get that hooked up, so we'll have plenty of power for our big fuel pump. And I'll mess with the rest of that stuff tomorrow. I know for you guys it hasn't been long at all, but for me it's been most of the day. So I'm about to call it because I don't feel like getting fuel all over me tonight at this point. It's 7 o'clock. All right, so we're calling it.